Electric vehicles, or EVs as they're known, are billed as the wave of the future, a way to free society from fossil fuel. And as technology and affordability has progressed, popularity has as well. In fact, EV sales shot up nearly 50% in the last quarter, according to estimates from Kelley Blue Book. And EVs made up nearly 8% of all car sales between July and September. That's a record. And all of this is happening fairly quickly. It's important to remember, though, the new risks that come with new technology. You've no doubt seen the stories of electric vehicle fires. They are very rare, but can be very dangerous. And they're even changing the way firefighters are working to protect you and themselves.
This is a Dragon that ate a bomb. You're talking anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 degrees immediately coming out of the side of the vehicle. The battery itself in most models is not in a handy place. It's in the floor pan. So we have to be able to get under that vehicle with our water streams to affect the cooling.
And this is just one risk KMBC9 investigative reporter Matt Fleener is watching. Matt's here to discuss his investigation. Thanks for doing this. We are kind of in this brave new world, right, where EVs are becoming more and more popular. But what struck me is the way the world has to adapt to these changes.
Yeah, especially firefighters, right? Yeah. And that's why we're doing this story. Firefighters are really having to change some of their methods, change some of the thinking, and really train on these new electric vehicles that are out there. The traditional way to, fight a fire is to put water over the top of the vehicle or right on the vehicle. Well, you heard Captain Schnickel say there, you got to go under the vehicle now. Most batteries, a lot of batteries on electric vehicles are underneath, and so they have to put that water stream underneath. And it shows the seriousness of this situation. You heard his quote, the Dragon that ate a bomb. He's talking specifically about the temperature of these fires because they burn very, very hot. Captain Schnickel says EVs are very, very safe, but at the same time, if they do catch fire, they have to go through these extra steps and these extra things they've been training on to make sure that everybody's safe in this situation.
Right. Again, very rare to have an EV fire like this, but yes. But they have to prepare for it.
Oh, they absolutely do. And firefighters all across the country are dealing with this. New York, over in California, they're dealing with these lithium-ion battery fires, and so they're taking what they've learned in those situations, in those cities, and bringing them back here to the Midwest and training here in Kansas City and the surrounding region on this.
What surprised you about this?
I think the fact that we're seeing relatively more fires. I say relatively because there's not a huge amount of these fires, right? But we're starting to see these fires show up again on the coasts, and Overland Park hasn't necessarily had to fight one of these fires yet, but they are absolutely ready. They're absolutely ready to make sure that they put these fires out.
And not just on the roads too, because in your report, you're looking at some home dangers as well, right?
Lithium-ion battery fires with scooters or hoverboards. I know my kids have 3 hoverboards at home, and after this reporting that I did, I immediately went home and unplugged those hoverboards from my garage. I do not want those hoverboards plugged in overnight. They were very careful to say, do not get an aftermarket charger for one of these hoverboards, because there's a little chip inside the charger that comes with the hoverboard itself, the manufacturer recommended charger, and that regulates the battery, that regulates the amount of energy that's going into that battery. If you get one of these aftermarket chargers, they may not have that chip inside, and therefore it gets really hot. Hoverboard catches fire and your house is up in flames, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's not tailor-made to the specific product.
Exactly.
Right. Everybody knows about lithium-ion batteries, I think, from planes, right? You're not supposed to check the luggage, but this really opens the door to some of the other risks, I think.
I think there is, and I think it's just something to know about. It's not something to be in fear about. That we shouldn't establish this culture of fear that EV fires are going to happen every single day. I think that is something we have to be very careful about. But firefighters definitely want to know the risks. They want to know that these fires definitely burn hotter. They're going to be, it's going to take longer to put out, and they just have to keep putting water on these fires, sometimes for minutes, even hours, to make sure these fires are out.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you shining a light on this. Matt Fleener, thank you. Yeah. You can watch Matt's report as he shares these risks and the best ways you can stay safe Thursday night on KMBC 9 News at 6. We'll be right back.